If you're using the DJI Pocket 3 and you like to shoot on manual mode, one of the things you're going to find out very soon is that you do need an ND filter put onto the camera in order to get the quality that you want and to make sure your highlights aren't blown out. So I decided to look at a couple different ND filter options. One was the DJI 3 ND filter option. And the second I took a look at was the Polar Pro Vivid Collection 3 ND filter option that offers a polarizing feature to it. So the DJI costs about $60 for 3, and the Polar Pro costs $80 for 3. And I figured the best way to show you how they work is to actually get some and use them in some bright sunlight. So on a recent trip that I took to Belle Harbor, Florida, I brought along these ND filters. I'd like to show you some samples that I took from a balcony looking out on the ocean and the blue sky, and give you a chance to make your impression as to which one performed best. And at the end, I'll tell you which one I'm going to be using on a regular basis. Today, on Mark Exploring New Stuff. So I figured the best way to start this was without an ND filter. And we're looking down from the 19th floor of the balcony that I have here. We're looking at the ocean, but you can't tell that at this particular point in time. So the first thing I'm going to put on is I'm going to put on the first of the DJI filters. Now this is the ND16, a 4-stop filter, and let's see the differences that makes. All right, so already you should see a dramatic difference in the formatting here. You see the difference that an ND4 filter, this is the DJI ND4 filter, makes. So the only change we've made here is now we're using the ND6. It's a 6-stop ND filter, and it's actually the ND64. So ND64 is a 6-stop filter. You see the difference that made, and you can compare it to the other one. So again, this is 6-stop. And lastly, this is the ND256, the 8-stop ND filter. This is the third, this is the darkest of the ND filters that the DJI. Now we're going over to the Polar Pro product. This is the Polar Pro product, and we're looking at the ND3. I'm sorry, it's an ND8. It's a 3-stop ND filter. And one of the interesting parts of the Polar Pro filters is they also have a variable ND. I'm sorry, not a variable, a polarizing filter on the attach of it. So if you're able to rotate that, or I'll try to rotate, you may see some changes in the color. There, the sky looks a little washed out. If I turn it, we're able to bring some of the blues back in the sky. So again, one of the differences with the Polar Pro is not only do you have the ND filter, but you also have a polarized attachment to it that you can manipulate. Now you're looking at the ND32. It's a 5-stop ND Polar Pro ND filter, and again, this has the see, you can darken the skies. You see it more in the skies than anywhere else. So again, the Polar Pro has the polarizing filter. And this is the last one in the series of Polar Pro. This is the ND128, which is a 7-stop ND filter. We've got the polarizing lens in the front of it that we can make some adjustments to so that you might be able to see changes in the skyline on it. So I'll share with you some thoughts of these two filter systems. The first is the DJI system. It is a rectangular system. It is very difficult taking off of the Osmo Pocket Pro. It's very difficult to remove it. It's just, I don't know, maybe you have big hands, but it's just, you got to be very careful to not lose the ND filter to fall wherever your surroundings are. The other thing that kind of surprised me, again, now keep in mind, this is the DJI ND filter system, 3 filter system. Again, it's 4, 6, and 8 stops, an ND16, an ND64, and an ND256. The thing that surprised me is Osmo comes out with the wider lens that you're able to buy, or the mist filter that you're able to add to this Osmo Pocket 3. And it surprised me that if you use the wider lens attachment for the Osmo Pocket 3, you're not able to put one of the Osmo ND filters on top of it. So again, if you're going to use the ND filters uh, with the wide lens that's provided through Osmo, you're not going to be able to, I should say. You can't use they won't magnetically attach. And that, for that, I'm kind of surprised, because DJI should have been aware of the fact that people may want to use the wide lens that they provide and put an ND filter on top of that. So just be aware that you're not able to get that. That's the wide angle lens adapter for the DJI Pocket 3 is not magnetized, so you can't put anything over that. Let me give you some feedback and some perspectives that I have on the Polar Pro product, which I'll tell you up front, just to take away some of the suspense, I think is a superior product. I think it's a superior product for a couple reasons. Number one, it has the 3, 5, and 7 stop ND filter in its collection here. It's an ND8, an ND32, and an ND128. So I think it's much more practical selection of the ND filters. If you remember, the DJI is 4, 6, and 8. This is 3, 5, and 7 on the Osmo. The other thing that I like about the Osmo, and you're not going to be able to see it here that well, but it has, because it has the polarizing tip of it, it actually has a rotating element to it, and that makes it easier to pull the ND filters off. So it's much easier to put it on and take off than the ND filter for DJI. And then the feature also is the fact that the Polar Pro does have the polarizing filter on front of it, so you get that feature. So that's my take. If you're buying one of them, the one that I would go for, the one that I would recommend, would be the Polar Pro Vivid Collection. It's a 3 collection of ND filters that also have a polarizer on the front of it to adjust it. Hope that's helpful as you explore some of the opportunities to add to make your Osmo Pocket 3 more usable. I'm Mark. Thanks for watching Mark Exploring New Stuff. If you enjoyed the show and you felt it informative, give us a thumbs up and subscribe so that we've got the encouragement to put out more information like this and help you on your journey to becoming a better video and photographer.